Okay, so dear Dharma practitioners, be comfortable yourself and relax your body. Keep your back straight, neck head straight in one line, and your right palm on your left. So gently close your eyes and bring attention to this bell sound. And while you're focusing to the sound, mentally relax your body, relax your mind, and relax your breathing with your thoughts. So do nothing extra. Just follow the sound, please. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to the Blessed One, the Exalted One, the fully enlightened One. So, dear Dhamma practitioners, today is Valentine's Day. All around the world, a lot of people, especially young people, celebrate love. And at the same time, we can see now not only young people, most of the old people also start to celebrate this Valentine days. So when it comes to love, it is very complicated word. And at the same time, it has many meanings. It's same kind of like, it has the same strength, kind of like a karma. You know, when you say karma, it has a positive and also it has a negative meanings. So when it comes to the love, it has a positive and a negative meaning also. So when it comes to the world, the very primary source, the foundation is the love. This everything arises with the help of the love. Even when it go to the electron, neutron, proton, the very basic level of material world, even that, if we go to the very fundamental elements of the universe, heat, motion, liquidity, and hardness, this all has a nature to integrate, harness, combine, look for each other. This blending nature is kind of like the energy of love. Because the thing is this, when one energy try to blend with another thing, listen this very carefully. When one energy trying to blend with another thing, as example, heat, try to blend with the motion, that desire of blending and go towards the motion, bring the openness inside the heat to come to the motion. So it's kind of like the love bring the desire to go towards something that itself, the desire created by the love, bring the openness. So then we go to the bottom and understand this two nature. So go towards something and at the same time welcoming, opening, accepting. So whatever the nature, if you accelerate yourself, empower by keep doing, repeating, can bring two kind of benefits out of that, whatever the strength you build up. So as example, if you build up, encourage, empower the moving desire, what will happen by the time it become kind of like emotions. And at the same time, if you build up the openness, it build up the wisdom. So the love you can develop as a very wisdom source, or as a pillar of wisdom, and on the other side you can build up the love as a pillar of desire. So how? If you develop the gaining, achieving desire, then it build up the emotional desires to go with that. Then it brings the accumulating nature. And other side, if you build up the wisdom path, openness, acceptance, then that acceptance bring the humbleness, surrender. So that by the time make you more comfortable person and allow you to get out of the ego. So then two ways. One, build up the ego. Another way, it reduce the egos. The same source. So that is the power of love. So then we need it. Without the love, even in the bottom of our life, even within our own body, invisibly this each and every cell need to have that communication and the connection and harness. And that itself need the love. But at the same time, if we build up emotion on it, and if we start to build up the gaining desire on it, what will happen? By the time we're going to end with struggle. So then it is a wisdom that it is a method that you have to develop. How you can use this current, how you can use this energy to develop yourself and gain the transformation. So then by the time that the love itself doesn't work, and if you have the desire-based love, what will happen? It's going to bring many kind of troubles to us, difficulties to us. So the desire-based love depend on the physical and material and time and space. So then what will happen by the time this everything will change, and then we become sad, worried, disappointed. But if you gain the wisdom to become a better person using that love, and by the time even the body change, even the relationships change, even the environment change, even the material things change, we already passed the line and we come to a higher level. So it's kind of like before the tsunami comes, you have to be wise yourself to get into a higher place. So your whole emotional life is kind of like a tsunami. You know, we live with together, we live with each other. By the time, if you don't develop enough wisdom to using that relationships to become a better person yourself, by the time what will happen, people get tired about you. Why? Because we have the same kind of lifestyle, same kind of physical structure, same kind of behavior. So with that, by the time, people start to get tired. But if you develop a spiritual path in you, it brings the newness to yourself. That newness every day brings some kind of fresh mental environment to inside you. So that wisdom is very necessary, because you need to know that whatever we hold it to this material world, these things going to change by the time. So once these things change, how are you going to handle the life if you're going to depend on that? So that's why we go with the desire-based life. That's what the Buddha taught, premato jayati soko. And all the desires going to end with the unhappiness. So then you have to develop a method, use these things to uplift yourself rather than hold it to that, shrink into it. Bring these things and use that and become more better person. So once you have it, it's not like stay away from things. No, come to a point to do things in the right way. And once you come to that level, it brings you kind of like a mental structure to yourself, clarity to yourself, to understand. Because when it comes to the spiritual level of love, it's a kind of like a one-way journey. You have the total intention to bring the highest satisfaction to other person. But you have to be so mature to provide that kind of love. But with the ignorance, you can't do that. With a lot of blind spot inside us, you can't provide that kind of facilities to others. Because you have to learn how to apply it in exactly the right moment. That need the wisdom. It's a kind of like act appropriately. Do the right things at the right time. So when you have that wisdom, it brings the ability to live with other people without hold it to, or without looking for any feedback, or without depending from others' opinions. You are capable to provide your environment for others. So when it comes to Buddha, The one of the most important thing, the quality that he had, if you look very carefully, his character, even though he attained to the enlightenment and he had so much wisdom, but still, when it comes to day-to-day life, he had one of the very simple quality that you also can apply and practice yourself. What is that? That listening to others and giving some time to listen to others, especially for the people around you. But most of time what happen, we have that the system to overtake others rather than listening to others. So when you listen to others, it's kind of like you accepting them. It's kind of like you appreciate them. It's kind of like you validate their relationship. But today what happens? We listen sometimes, but we miss the point. This kind of like a attentive listening. We listen, but our mind somewhere else. Maybe phone, looking at the phone, where we listening. Maybe looking at the movie, TV, news, we listening. So that way, it doesn't work. So when it comes to the wisdom, Shrutamaya Jnana, so for your liberation, the very basic foundation is listening. And so then, how about with your family members? If you develop you have the love regarding, maybe it is emotional based love, so you use that love to develop this spiritual quality. What is that? Listening. So see, now you invest your emotions to your wisdom. And then, so by the time, maybe the relationships, by the time things change, people change, but you have now ability, you gain the best quality to your whole samsaric journey. What is that? As a person, you have ability to listen. It's a kind of like a profitable skill. So another thing is the faith that we need for the spiritual path. Trust. Maybe before we go into the teachings or the Buddha, so you have to come to a point, are you basically conventionally practice this trust as a person, each other? It's an ability, it's a profitable skill. Because sometimes there are some people, they can't trust anyone. They don't know how to do that. They always have doubt in their mind. And it's kind of like a fungus. Always have a doubt. So they love it. If there is no doubt, they feel kind of like something missing. They're addicted to doubt. Then just imagine how you can develop any spiritual path. So the very basic life we have, start from there. The people around you, and come to your mind and start to trust. It's very difficult. Once you start to trust, then you may see, you think, oh, this person is not good, bad, oh, kind of like that. But If you start little by little, somehow you bring the ability, you trust. Even maybe you fail in front of your eyes. You recognize, see, I thought that's right. See, this person cheating, doing things. But still, if you start to develop the trust, by the time you start to recognize and you start to find it from outside. So when you do, more than me, most of you went through relationships. And the relationships, when it comes to that, is one of the important things, more than other person. All the relationships teach you something regarding your own life. Think about it. More than other person, if you go through a relationship, that each and every time that relationships teach you something about you. So then what does that mean? No, even this love in the conventional level of love also is a reflection of our inner mind. And you heard the story about the Narcissus, the Greek boy, that he attached and he loved his own image and he believed on it, and the mind went crazy. And then he died with that craziness. And it is not only for that Narcissus. Then most of us the same, if you look very carefully. It's maybe not appear as a kind of like a beautiful girl or boy or partner or kind of like that. But there are some kind of mental image inside us regarding ourselves. That is the greatest hindrance, the most powerful hindrance, self-image. So we love for that self-image. We never saw it, but still in our mind we have a picture and we hold it to that and we die with it. At least Narcissus saw the reflection on the water, the fountain. But ourselves still, we don't see that. So we are more crazy than the Narcissus, because that's what we see, the self-image regarding us. We not see from outside as a reflection, but still it's a kind of like a shadow behind us always. It's invisibly everywhere we see. So that is why you remember that whatever the life that you have with the partners, that whatever the love that you explain in any ways, according to the Buddha's teaching, that you have to understand, to cultivate it, transform it to the highest level. What is that called? The wisdom. Otherwise, it is useless. Otherwise, it kind of like the samadhi. Look at the Buddha, before the Buddha. There were many rishis, yogis, enlightened masters attained to the samadhi. And they attached there and they stuck there. And they didn't see the wisdom. So sometimes the love the same. It's the same energy. And we come to the point and it facilitates us. It makes us comfortable and we think, I got it. This is it. Then what will happen? By the time it's going to vanish, then you become worried. Oh, you missed the point. So that's why The vipassana is the ultimate, the power of the wisdom. That whatever you gain, whatever you experience, whatever you achieve, you have to understand that achievement is impermanent. So that impermanent doesn't mean there is kind of like some energy. So as example, that during the Buddha's time, that the Buddha observed deeply the body. That when it comes to the Buddha's teaching, mainly the world is this body, and observe it to the depth and understood. This is empty. Empty means it's not about there is a kind of like a nothing. It's the emptiness means another way. This dependent origination, it's deep that whatever exists, it depends from something. And then you can't get it to a very primary, concrete, unchangeable existence. Because it's all, everything always depends. And that is where you can experience the emptiness. Even in the spiritual world, that we come to the love. And as example, the loving kindness meditation. We wish, may all living beings in this universe be well and happy. So in that point, if you hold it to the world image as a permanent place, what will happen? Then you take it as something wrong mental view. But finally, you have to come to a point to understand, even though we have the bliss, the blessings like that, even though we think like that way, this everything going to change. And then what will happen? That loving kindness also transform you to the wisdom. Otherwise, if you take the love as a permanent primary source, again it takes you to the same place. So then you have to come to a point to understand whatever the love we experience, for the moment, even though it is bliss, it's not going to be permanent. So then as a mother, father, husband, wife, children, when you have this emotional love, and out of that you give the best for the other person. Why? Because you know this is not going to be permanent. This will change by the time. And you know that. It happened to you. So then the same ability, see that you base with the very conventional world, but deeply you have the understanding regarding the reality. That's how you have to develop this. Otherwise, if you build it with the permanent idea, what will happen? By the time the greed come, hatred come, desire arise, it overtake your life. It is not only you, it's overtake around you, that other people also. Then it's going to become difficult, hard. So that's why the love can bring you all the comfort, happiness, satisfaction. And at the same time, you have to remember, the love is the one of the major important thought. Bring a lot of death, difficulties, hardness, lot of drama, fight, anger, hatred, jealousy, violence to the world. It is the truth. So, and at the same time, without love, we can't exist. So then you have to come to the point to balance it. And balance it. And at the same time, you have to have the wisdom to take out the poison and make it as a medicine. That is the science. So can you, when the love arises in you, can you take out the poison and make it medicine? So you know there are a lot of plants. And even there are a lot of this medicine people make out of the poison. If you take it, from the raw level, it's poison, it kill you. But there are some people, they know how to take out the poison. And there are the people who ever eat sushis, fish, some fish. And I heard that fish, if you don't cut the right way, and that fish going to become poison. But there are some, the people know how to cut that fish and take out the poison part. It's a skill. And then it become very healthy food. So the same thing with our own love also. So make it more healthy for you and for others. Don't make it poison. It can different person to person maybe, but at least basically keep that principle. Then it make more bring opportunities for you to think and use it according to the way you want. So that is an ability, that is a skill that you develop in you. You need it, otherwise it may kill you. And we have seen it everywhere. Look how people deal with the love. And a lot of people kill their partners because they love. And not only that, it's like a package. It's come as a package. It doesn't come alone. And in the beginning, it's love. And it's kind of like, that the 5 rings. And it's come with the engagement ring. And then, the wedding ring. And then the gathering, all this come together, And then after that, this bothering, it's a little bit unhappy, unbalanced. And then finally, you're going to end up with the suffering, which that ring you can't take out like that. And all the rings that you put finally can bring the suffering to you. Be careful. So then how there you can have the wisdom yourself? Always remember, even though you have this love, personally you should have a higher purpose in you. To be a better person for yourself. And use the environment. So, and at the same time, always remember, never influence the greed, hatred, or the illusion, or the ignorance, yourself or others. And when you meet the people, behalf of your love, always try to empower, help for other person to generate the loving kindness, generosity, compassion, and wisdom. That is the best gift that you can give as a love. And it's going to build up your spiritual journey properly with the strong foundation. And whatever the people come to you, whatever the situation come to you, even though by the time it will end, but that person going to get the good benefit out of it, and you going to get the good benefit out of it. So that way, the both parties going to uplift their lives. So otherwise, don't just bound to this emotional love. It is very necessary. But remember, start to transform it. Use it as the primary source and use it. It's kind of like the cow dung. It's kind of like the soil. And use it to grow your spiritual tree. And then by the time, when the situations change, when the people change, it nourishes you. And when it nourish, there are few things happen. So one of the thing is, you're going to understand. This is the spiritual wisdom you gain by the time. And it is not just the becoming matured, it is more than the matured. You're going to be with the people and the situation, you're going to be more relaxed and calm when the situations happen. You're not going to be so crazy like, teenagers, like a young age. You become more calm, relaxed. And at the same time, you recognize that whatever the things happen in the past, and there were some kind of lessons behind it. So that is your spiritual development you're going to gain through you. And when you have that wisdom, it builds up a good, solid foundation for you to go through life, experience the life, face the situation. That is what we need, basically, in day-to-day life. Because more than that, when the situation comes, what we try to do, we try to escape from that. But Vipassana is a method. You go into the situation and you recognize it. So, but you have to have a power for that, wisdom for that. Just imagine that it's kind of like a emergency room doctor. Sometimes when the situation comes, the people come with the blood, very bad shape, very scary, but the emergency doctor is so calm, confident, and handle the situation. So when you with the love, so you need to be kind of like that emergency doctor. You know why? Because most of time around you, your husband, your wife, your children, parents, brothers, sisters, friends, sometimes with many emotional accidents, they get wounded and they crying, weeping, angry, mad, in pain, and sometimes around you, they start to behave like so crazy out of nothing. But if you become kind of like an emergency doctor, knowingly how to handle this situation, it's going to be a bliss for entire family. Otherwise, when everybody go crazy out of nothing, if you also become crazy, what will happen? So because that going to happen in the society. So then yourself remember, developing that calmness and the wisdom and the confidence and awareness and gaining it to yourself and apply it to others with the good heart is the power of love. So you have to encourage it, you have to uplift it, you have to develop it in you, and you have to empower it in you day by day, day by day. So don't caught up just only on the emotional love. Don't just stuck with this physical and material love. You have to have it, you stay there, but remember, get the opportunity and get nourished out of it and jump to the higher level. Why? Remember this, all the emotional love and the material love, the attachment, the desires, underneath, there is a current. Sometime, somewhere, earthquake can happen, or maybe big tsunami can happen. It's going to happen if you stuck with that. But when you able to reach to higher level, when the tsunami comes, when the earthquake happens, you find the safe place. So it is your responsibility. So with that, let's get into practice a little bit. So bring your attention to your body, please. And scan head to toes 3 times yourself and say Swapatveva, or may I be well and happy 3 times. Take a moment and think. We gathered here in this moment to practice this ancient meditation technique. All the Buddhas, all the enlightened masters followed this path and achieved wisdom. So we also gathered here to accumulate that knowledge. In this moment, with this sitting, may my body become more comfortable. May my breath be more smooth. May no difficulties come to me. May all the success come to me. Also think for a moment. This is the last moment you're spending in this very lifetime. And detach your mind from all your past memories and as well as any kind of future thoughts. Just try to remain in the present moment, observing the sensation of your inhalations and exhalations. So in the beginning, deeply and gently, breathe out 3 times, please, and find the sensation. And allow your inhalations, exhalations happen itself. Recognize it as it is. Do nothing extra. Bring your attention to your body, please. Observe your posture. We cultivate loving kindness and compassion in our heart and radiate it as a light through entire your compound, village, city, state, country, world, around this universe. Also, as far as you can, through galaxies, other planets, stars. Reminding yourself like this. With clear intention, mentally repeat after me. May all living beings in this universe be well and happy. May everyone be happy and safe. And may their hearts be filled with joy. May all living beings live in security and in peace. Beings who are frail or strong, tall or short, big or small, visible or not visible, near or far away. Already born or yet to be born. May all of them dwell in perfect tranquility. Let no one do harm to anyone. Let no one put the life of anyone in danger. Let no one out of anger or ill will wish anyone any harm. Expand the loving kindness and compassion beginning from your heart. Forward. Visualize yourself and send it as a light. To your backside. To your left side. And to your right side. Downward. And upward. To all 6 directions at once. Like the moon, the sun, spread the light, spread the energy without any condition, without any limitation, without any resistance or without any judgment. Let your heart to shine with the loving kindness and compassion from the bottom of it with the maximum effort to the highest. wishing yourself, may all living beings in this universe be well and happy. Say sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So first of all, we offer this practice to the great qualities of the Buddha, Dhamma and the Sangha. And also by the power of this meritorious deed, may all of us attain to the supreme bliss of Nibbana. May all your guardian angels and deities will receive these merits and increase their longevity and protect all of you from any kind of planetary influences or any ill effects. Ittavata chami sampadam punya sampadam sabbe deva anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe bhuta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe satta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya Maya dhammanu dhamma patipattiya buddham pujemi dhammam pujemi sangham pujemi Attaya imaya patipattiya jati jara vyadi maranam ha paribunjisami Idamme punya kammanga savakkaya vahang hotu sabba dukkha pamunchatu. Bless you.